Hello guys, hi, good evening. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. So I'm doing this video for my students. Okay, so we are about to start July batch. Okay, so in a year I can take 4 trainings only. So every 3 months I will start a new batch. So after July, in October, I'm going to have another batch. Okay, if you miss July, then you will get a chance to take training in October. Okay. This is my third batch in this year. Okay, so now we'll go through the course syllabus. I'm teaching architects and civil engineers on Revit BIM modeling for architecture and structure. So I have created one syllabus for Revit architecture and structure. I'm just going to show you what are the topics. Okay, this course is suitable for architects and engineers who works on building design and drafting. Okay, so in this course we are going to learn all the topics in the playlist, and please have patience and go through all the topics in the uh, training syllabus. A few topics are especially made for architects only, uh, but if you're a civil engineer and if you're working in a structure, please try to understand architecture tools also, because in some companies a single modeler expected to work in architecture and structure. So it's better if you learn both. Okay, sometimes you may uh, fall into a situation to model architecture elements. So that time you should not say like, no, I can't do it, right? So it's better if you learn. Okay, I'm trying my best. Okay, I am trying my best to give you a better learning experience. I'm doing this training online only. Okay, so in case if you want to take training, please feel free to contact me on 9035623806. I'm from India, Bengaluru. Okay, I'm just going to go through the syllabus. So here you can see I have a PPT opened. Okay, so we can just go through each slide. So here you see architecture and structure syllabus. Okay, so because only architecture and only structure is not good. Even though you're an architect, you may have to model structural element also. So that time you need to know how structural element behaves in Revit. So that's why I'm taking both topics. Okay, so first of all, when you're starting as fresher in Revit, you have to understand what is user interface and what you can find where and how this Revit works. So that's very important. You need to know how to create a file, how to open a file, how to open a central file, how to change the application settings. So those things you need to know. So the first class will be on how to use your mouse, how to rotate a view, how to go to sheet view, how to go to plan view, how to open schedule. When you are in schedule, how to go to window tile mode. So these things we'll discuss. User interface is very important. Okay, make a note. We have a 34 slide here. So 34 class you need to have. Okay, so but some topics are small. So in one class we can have 2-3 topics together. So that will get additional time for practicing things. Okay, and what are the file types are there in Revit is very important to know. So we have Revit project file, Revit family file, and Revit project template file, Revit family template file, and those are the Revit native uh, file format. Okay, and Revit can handle Naviswork format and AutoCAD format and SketchUp format also Revit can handle. But as it's not a native format, it will be for a reference only. For example, you can link SketchUp file for your reference in a 3D view, but you can't change the SketchUp model inside Revit. Okay. Datum elements. What is a datum element? It's very important to understand. So when you are starting to model anything, you need to know where you are modeling. So every element uh, will fit on a reference plane or on a work plane. Okay. So we have grids, levels, and reference planes as datum elements in Revit. So we are going to see how that works, what is 3D extend, what is 2D extend. Those things we'll learn. The next one, the first thing, we should have a ground so that we can make our building. Okay, so just for a reference, you need to put a 3D floor as a ground or as a road you have to draw. So learning to draw the floor and learning to draw the floor with the slope is very important. So that we are going to learn. The next one, so after creating the ground, you need to know how to draw the wall, compound wall with the gate, right? And in a wall, we have three types in Revit. One is basic wall, one is curtain wall, and one more is compound wall. So each wall behaves separately, like differently. And you need to know how to handle things because this is a system family and you cannot create any library for wall. Okay. So we need to know what is given in Revit and how we can customize the existing wall. So that's important. Once you learn to draw the wall, the next step is to learn how to place doors and window and how to modify the width and height, how to load a new door style, window style. So that's important. This is a nested family, or what do we say? It's a host family, we can say. Okay, wall is the host. Without wall, we can't place any door or window. Okay, and it's a loadable family. You can save the door family, window family in a library in another folder outside Revit. You can save so that they are called a loadable family. Okay. The next one is after drawing the wall and placing the door, you need to model the first floor. And in case if it's a roof, you need to know how to draw the roof. Right, in roof itself, we have different options. You can draw a ceiling for a reference, and then you can draw the terrace or roof. You can also have a glass roof. Okay, so those things we are going to learn. The next one is staircase. So in case of a multi-story house, you need to learn how to draw the staircase. In staircase, we have different types. One is concrete staircase and precast staircase, precast concrete staircase, and the next one is assembled staircase. That's for steel. Okay. So staircase and ramp both have the same concept. They work based on the height and the slope. Okay. So that will be taught. And the next one is for handrail. So handrail also a system family, and we have lots of nested family inside the railing. You can have a different profile for handrail and other middle rails. Okay, and you can have post and baluster. So it works on a algorithm. Okay, so you need to know how to modify handrail. Okay, so once you know, then you can make any handrail type, but we have a limitation. You should also know what is possible and what is not possible with the Revit railing. Okay, once you learn till staircase and railing, you can go for site modeling. In site modeling, we have to learn two items. One is topo surface and one more is topo solid. Topo solid is new and that is available from Revit 2024 only. That is introduced as new, and before it was like topo surface. Okay, so you should know how to handle topo surface and how to handle topo solid, and based on your Revit version you will have the option, right? So once you know how to model the topo surface, you have to know how to do the conceptual mass. Okay, so with the conceptual mass, how to add floor, and how to add face-based wall, face-based roof. So those things we will learn. And once we create the model, so we need to know how to create a floor plan. To draw a floor plan, you need to know how to place a room, and the color scheme legend you need to know how to do. And area plan is another type of plan. Okay, so for calculating rentable area or office space area, you can have area plan. Okay, so usually we'll create floor plan, and area plan is another commercial plan, right? The second one is for sheet composition. So we know how to create view, and this is actually a view. Okay, once you learn how to create a view, how to annotate, then the next one is to add it to the sheet. Okay, so when adding to the sheet, how to take the title block, how to place the view, how to place legend in case of north arrow, and scale bar, how to place. So those things we'll discuss. How to add a rendered image, so those things we'll discuss. Annotation and detailing. Okay, so what is annotation? Is adding nodes, dimensions, symbols, these things. So we will learn how to add hatch. So in Revit, it's not hatch, it is it is region. Okay, field region in Revit. Okay, so we'll learn annotation tab. Next one is drafting view and design, detail design in Revit. Okay, drafting view is a plain sheet inside Revit. So you need to know how that works. Actually, we can draw all the lines to the true scale, and you can customize the scale so whenever you need. And you should also know the difference between general notes and legends in Revit. Okay, so till here it is uh, made for architecture. Okay, so and we cannot neglect structural framing modeling. So we will start with the concrete structure, and then we'll go for composite building, concrete and steel building. Okay, so in case if you're looking for a wooden structure, then you can take the concept of steel structure and you can try wooden structure modeling. Okay, so when it comes to wooden structure, learning pitched roof framing modeling is very important. How to set the work plane with respect to the pitched roof is very important. So we are going to see that concept also. And then steel connection in 3D modeling is important. If you know the concept, it is very good. If you are a structural beam modeler, then this is actually very important topic for steel modeling. Okay, so there are some default connections. You can also create your own connection. So those things we'll see in one class. This is especially made for structure beam modeling. Okay, so in case if you're an architect, don't hesitate to attend this session, because it's always better if you know the concept. Okay, and rebar modeling and scheduling, so that's also important for structural modelers. Okay, so if you're an architect, if you know the concept, it is very good for you. Okay, just to take two classes. Okay, one is steel connections and one more is rebar modeling. Okay, so in case if you don't want, just ignore it, no problem, but this also included in your training. And schedule and quantity calculation in Revit, this is very important for architecture and structure. Both schedule works the same way for architecture and structure. Okay, so this is made for both discipline professionals. Families actually very important. You should know what is a system family, what is a loadable family, what is model in place family, and doing modeling, 3D modeling is very easy. We have only 5 tools: extrusion, sweep, swept blend, and revolve. These are basic. Okay, so with the 5 tool we are going to model all the families. Okay, and this is easy to do, but you have to follow certain steps to understand families in Revit. So that we'll see. Okay, so here you can see extrusion, blend, revolve, swept, blend, sweep. So if you master 5 tools, then you can make any families. Okay, and so when you're making the 3D model, how to add parameter to the 3D model, so that's important. Okay, so we have a different type of parameter, length parameter, text parameter, and material parameter, yes or no parameter, family types parameter. So we have to know all these parameter types. Model in place family in Revit. The only difference is loadable family can be saved outside Revit and it can be shared separately. In case if you are doing model in place, you are doing it inside the project, so you can't share outside. Okay, and the next one is 2D families. So modeling 3D family is important. The same way modeling 2D family also important. This is uh, very much important for a sheet composition. If you, for example, in case if you are creating a north arrow, that north arrow is a 2D family. Okay, and that's a view dependent family. It will not affect other view. Okay, for example, you are placing a north arrow in a sheet, the same north arrow will not appear in other sheet. You have to place again. Okay, so we'll see what are the 2D families in you can find in Revit, and how to model, for example, in case of level head, grid head, in case of north arrow, title block, in case of other symbols, how to model, how to change. So those things we'll see. Okay, the concept is very important. Learning concept is easy and simple. If you know the concept, then you can do any family. Material in Revit. Learning how to create a new material, how to duplicate material, and how to apply to the element is very important. So once you learn material, then the next step is lighting. Okay, so lighting, you can have daylight, you can have interior, night light you can have. Okay, so actually this is the resolution you will get it from Revit. In case if you want a better rendering, you can use other software. In Revit we have twin motion, that's an advantage. Okay, doing rendering with Revit will not be difficult. Okay, rendering and walkthrough, you can have external software, but in case if you think you want to do it in Revit itself, then you can have a decent rendering. But walkthrough, I suggest you do it in a separate software. Twin Motion is a good software. In case if you like Lumion or other V-Ray software, you can go for that also. Okay, so multi-user project. So now you know everything in Revit. How to model, how to make a family, how to do a sheet composition, you know everything. Now the next step is how to work as a group. How to create one file for a 5-member group. So you have to create a work shared model. Okay, so that we are going to see. Okay, so I'm explaining what is a local, what is a central model, how BIM 360 works, we'll see. Okay, the next one is project settings. For example, you are doing a model, but you should also set it in the right location. Uh, right, so I'm going to show you uh, how to customize Revit, how to create a new line type, new hatch, how to set the project location, how to link architecture file and structure file, how to create faces. Those things we'll see. We will not discuss on Dynamo because Dynamo is a separate course. I'm focusing on Revit only. Okay, and visibility graphics override. This is very important if you're customizing the graphics in Revit. Okay, the next one is printing and exporting 3D model. That's all about syllabus. Okay, so please go through all these topics. We will also include additional topics from Navy's work to collaborate with other models. For example, doing clash detection, those things we'll learn in Navy's work. Okay, so that's all about the syllabus. In case if you want to take a training, please feel free to contact me. Okay, so on July we are going to start a new batch. Okay, July first week will start. Okay, thank you, thanks for watching this video. Okay, in the next video I will give a small overview of each topic. Okay, thank you, bye.